Bonjour. Welcome to the Art Lady channel. Today I'm with 21 kindergartners and we're going to learn about an artist named Claude Monet. Bonjour, my art friends.
Bonjour.
Wow, they're wonderful artists I see out here. Now, my name is Claude Monet, and I lived in a wonderful town called Giverny. This is a picture of a famous hotel in Giverny named Hotel Baudi. And you see here, Giverny in June is filled with roses and poppies. One of my favorite things to paint. I can smell the roses in Giverny. That's why I moved there a long, long time ago. I was born in Paris, France. There's Paris. I was born in Paris, France in 1840. That's way over 100 years ago. Yes. And I died in a wonderful town called Giverny in 1926. And actually, this is a rubbing from Claude Monet's grave. I was actually lucky enough to go to Paris 3 times, and on one of the visits, there I am, on one of the visits, I went, or twice, 2 of the visits, I went to Giverny. And this is me sitting in front of an artist shed. That's me. It's sitting in front of the artist shed in Giverny in June. And the whole town is filled with roses. That's why Claude Monet moved there. He loved all the beautiful scenery. And Claude Monet loved gardens so much that he bought this house. And he made the house even bigger because he had a big family with lots of children. And he made a beautiful garden just so he could paint it. And, oh yes, we can't forget this. The water-lily pond. He built this beautiful pond. He actually diverted a river and made it go in his pond. And he built this beautiful Japanese bridge so that he could paint the pond and the bridge. And do you see what's growing here in the water? What are those? Yes, the lilies, the water lilies. And that is what Monsieur Claude Monet was famous for, his water lilies. So look. Here's some of his water lily paintings. At first, he painted the water lilies as he saw them. He painted the light and how the light reflected on them and put little sunshine on the leaves. Look, let's see. Do you see some of the leaves are bright colors? Bright green and light green and yellows. And then he painted the reflections. Look at in the water. Can you see how this is actually the sky reflecting in the water? And the trees are reflecting in the water. Here's another painting that really shows the trees. Do you see the trees reflecting in my water? Right here, look at the trees. Here's the trees. This is weeping willows reflecting in Monet's water. We're going to be painting today water lilies like Claude Monet. And let me show you a close-up of his water lilies. He painted them with little dashes of color. Bright, pure color placed next to each other. And so when viewed from a distance, your eye mixes the colors together. He painted the impression of the colors. He painted what he saw in real life. And if you ever get a chance to go to Giverny and see his water lily pond, it looks just like the paintings that he painted. Even today, over 100 years ago, he painted these water lilies. And the pond is still there. And it looks just like this. That's what's so amazing. Well, are you ready to get started in making your own Claude Monet water lilies? Yeah. Okay. We're going to begin, and what I have the kids use is I have them use a ballpoint. This is a marker, felt tip marker pen, and a good color for this, because we're going to be turning this into a watercolor painting. A good color for this is this blue tip, or you could use purple or a light blue or turquoise. Those are good choices because it won't affect the painting once we add water to it. And actually, when you paint with water, here's an example here, and I add water to it, the color actually bleeds and blends into my painting. So it gives it a real good effect. That's why I say go right to this ballpoint pen or this marker pen. The first thing we're going to do for our water lilies is we're going to be drawing some ovals today. Ovals. Now, a real water lily, when we look at it, if we look at the water lily straight on, a real water lily is circular. And in view of perspective, we see it in a distance. So we actually look at it and we see it as an oval in our perspective. See this? This shape is almost like an oval. So we're going to draw our oval. So let's start off with we'll start up in here. We'll start off with I'm going to the middle, and I'm just going to jump up a little bit, and I'm going to do a straight line. So let's all start off with a straight line a little off to the side from the middle. One straight line, and that straight line is about 3 fingers long. So 3 fingers long. And then we're going to curve around real close, like a tiny letter C, straight across and curve around again. And we're going to do another one, starting here. Across, curve around, and connect. Now, water lilies, like I was telling you, they grow. When you look straight down at a water lily, it is actually, and don't draw this, it is actually circular. But when we see it in perspective on its side view, can you kind of see how this is turned? This makes a oval shape. Look at that. Do you see how that changes? It changes from circular to oval. And as the water lilies get farther away, watch. This shape is smaller. And when I bring it closer to you, it is bigger. So the water lilies appear to be the oval. And they actually grow. This is how a real water lily grows. Watch. I have them in my backyard, in my pond. They're connected to the bottom of the pond in some dirt or a pot. And then they have stems that come up. So don't draw this right now. And then they form their little water lilies on the top of the water. You see this? On the top of the surface. But they all grow from this plant at the bottom. Look. So actually, when you see them on the surface of the pond, they kind of are connected near each other. They're not one little plant here, one little plant here, one little plant here, just one leaf. It's not. There's lots of leaves coming out of that plant, and it's on the top surface of the water. So we're going to make a cluster or a group of these, like a classroom of kids in school. We put lots in a little pile. That's what we're going to do. So we're going to make another one here, and we can do another one near here. Now this cluster or group of water lilies, and I'll put one more here just so that I'm not even numbers. I like to leave it with odd numbers. So this little group connects to a plant that's under the water that we do not see. Now let's make another grouping of plants. Now remember I told you that when they're close up to us, they're bigger, and farther away it gets smaller. So let's put some water lilies farther away over here. So we're doing our straight line and little ovals. These are almost hot dog shapes or a chicken nugget stick, one of those, or a French fry shape. So do another one. Start off with straight, go round. Another one, straight, round, straight, round. So we're making little groups. This is a little family group. This is a family group. Do you see how they're grouped? And maybe one more in the back. So we have one farther away, and this is called a background. Then we have one in the middle of our page. Now we need something down here in the front, the foreground. Now, if this is little, farther away, closer up is bigger. The ones in the front are going to be the, what? Biggest. So here we go. You ready for the big ones? Yeah. Straight line. Now look, remember these were 3 fingers. How about 4 fingers wide? 4 fingers. And go circle, connect. Now sometimes these leaves, the water lilies in my pond have a split in them. The leaves will actually do this. Watch. I'm going to draw this front view, but the ones that have the split leaves go like this. Look at that. If I look straight down at my pond, it almost looks like a letter C or a circle with a bite taken out. It actually looks like a Pac-Man, you're right. So, but in perspective, look at the way it looks again. We don't view it straight on. We see it at this, whoops. We see it at this angle. You see that? So how it's split? So we can draw that curve. If you want to put your split in, go in and back and continue around. Some of those leaves split out because they just get so big. And make another one maybe here. Straight line, curve around, curve around. And I'm going to put another one down in here. You can even have things go off the page. I'm going to have one going off the page. I'm just doing a curve right here at the bottom. You see how I did that? I started at the bottom, went up, over, and back down. And I like groupings of 5, 7, odd numbers. So I'm going to stick another one. How about a partial one coming here? Touch the edge of the page and go around. Now, you might want to continue on and make another little grouping here, but later on. But let me show you how to do the flowers. Now, let's get back to our notes on how they really grow. Now, the flowers don't come off the top of these leaves, at least the water lilies I have. My flowers come up from a thick stem, and when I'm looking at Monet's paintings, look at this. His do the same thing as mine. There's some other flowers that do come up from this center stem here, but that's, I think, a lotus. Here's your bud, and if you can barely see, I can kind of see this stem hiding in right in here. So, they come from here, and then they make their little flower. That's what mine do. So, we're going to stick flowers in, but put them near. Remember, they got to go near this. Now, our flowers are going to be, we're going to make a letter U, down and up like a letter U. But look at this. Here's my real letter U. Down and up. That's a U. My U that I just made on my paper looks like someone sat on it. You see that curve? It's a U curve. Someone sat on it and squished it out, and it doesn't have the little tail. You see the tail's missing. So we just go down and up like the letter U. And then I'm going to take from the very tip, I'm going to bring this back and bring this back. And then I'm going to add some points. Think of the capital letter M. Everybody put that in your mind. Up, back, up, back, up, back, up, back. I just make lots of M's. Points. Now, if you want to add a little bit of a ripple, this is sitting on top of the water. So look, I'm just going to do this. Ripple, ripple with my pen. And add a short ripple right there. Now that's a water lily. So we can continue adding a few more water lilies. You can put as many water lilies in as you'd like. Look at this. That's Monet's. Beautiful, huh? I have, in my yard, I have purple water lilies growing, and I have white. I don't have any pink. Down and up, and then do the same process. Go back, back, and then just do some points sticking out. Now, someone answer me this. If my water lilies are this big here in perspective, what size should I make them back here? Just as big? Oh, great. A little bit smaller. Oh my, I have a smart group of kindergartners here today. Are we 6 years old? Up and back, up and back. Add a little ripple. Oh yeah, I have a lot of 6-year-olds. So continue making your water lilies. See this? Up and back. Now, and then way back here is going to be smaller. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you. What I'd like you to do is I'd like you to put your pens down and cap them, okay? That's okay. This isn't what I want you to do. I want you to listen to how I'm going to color this in. And then I'm going to say, you may finish this the way you want it now. But I'm going to demonstrate right now, and I love the way all my kindergartners are capping their pens. So right now I'm going to demonstrate how we color this in. So I want you to just watch me for now. We're going to be using water-soluble crayons today, and we're going to be thinking of horizontal short lines because Monet painted in little short lines. Look at this, little short lines. So he just took his color and he went and placed it little short lines, and we can do them in groups. You can make little water ripples under the water lilies. Now, if you look at Monet's painting, right next to the water lilies, it's darker. See the shadow? It gives a little bit of a darker line. So I'm going to take my dark blue water-soluble crayon, and I'm going to underline with some short lines to give shadow. Right here, I'm going to push real hard and underline for my shadow. And then I can add short ripples in the water. Short ripples in the water. See the short ripples? These ripples are smaller back here. These ripples are a little bit bigger. And then I can have some longer ripples here. But I want to make sure I have that shadow under the lily pad. Then I'm going to do ripples in light blue. You can even add purple ripples. And then, and I'm not going to work up the whole page because I want you to be able to do this in a minute. Okay, so remember I said watch first. So I have short ripples in between. And then in my water lilies, I'm going to color in my water lilies with green and light green. I'm just adding little lines. I'm not completely coloring in because I'll paint these in. And when the sun shines, let's look at Monet's water lilies. As the sun and light is reflecting onto the leaves, look at the bright yellow colors. You see them? And white. This is the sunshine. This is the sunshine right on the leaves. So dashes of color. Let's do it like Monet's and do dashes of color, yellow. And I'm going to concentrate on the yellows and greens in the leaves. That way we can see the difference. And the purples and blues and dark blues in the water. Now sometimes you can put far away a few little dashes of green because it did reflect. And then I'm going to show you, I'm going to choose pink for my little water lilies here. And then I'm going to show you what happens when we add the actual water. So I want you to wait, and you want to remember that you want to have everything colored first. So this may take you a whole art class to color first. So pretend, do y'all know how to pretend? Pretend that, okay, great. Pretend that this is done, okay? All of this is colored in gorgeous like this with yellows and greens. Then when it's all done, we're going to take some clear water and we're going to color in the little lily pads. I'll do the lily pads first. Now I do just the lily pads. Dip in, get some more. I'm doing all my lily pads first. And it melts, since these are called water-soluble, it's going to melt my coloring that I did. Because it's water-soluble. Look at this, I can even move it over here if I forgot to do one. Then I wash my brush, and I'm just going to take my water and go horizontally. If you draw the lines horizontal, make sure that you paint them. Look at how my hand goes across the page. Can you say horizontal? Horizontal, horizontal. So I paint horizontally, and look what it's doing. It's blending it in, and what's great about these water solubles is that, look, I can just put a few lines on, and it ends up making this beautiful light watercolor painting. Going across the page, horizontal, and then when I'm ready to do my water lilies, wash your brush really good. And friends, let me ask you this question. Should I be taking a really big brush to paint in these little water lilies? Oh, look how smart you are. I take a little brush and I paint in my little water lilies and I continue. Now pretend that all the water was done, right? So I can't do a little bit like I did and then start painting. You want to make sure that everything is painted. And what I want you to do is to finish your whole picture first, and then you can get your water and paint it in. So I want you to have fun making your Monet water lilies. And if you look at the Art Lady Gallery, and it's the Art Lady Gallery, I will post some pictures of my kindergarten art students and their beautiful water lilies that we made today. Enjoy and au revoir. That means be seeing you.